Okay guys, the purpose of this video is to show you how to play the drum sounds in the FA-06 using external pads. Since you cannot use the internal pads to be able to play the drum sounds, you must use either a MIDI controller or a drum machine. In this case, we're going to use the Alesis SR18 drum machine, and it's going to be connected to the FA-06 with a MIDI cable. You must use a DIN MIDI cable, looks like this, two on both ends. You cannot do it with a USB MIDI cable. So therefore, you have to make sure that either your drum machine or your MIDI controller has DIN cables. The very cheap control surfaces do not have, they only have the USB, and they are only designed to control software in computers. That will not work. So make sure that your MIDI controller has a DIN socket, or else use a drum machine. Okay, so there's nothing plugged into the back of the Alesis SR18 but one MIDI cable into the output. So that's proof positive that the patterns are going to play what's in the FA-06, and we're not using the internal sounds of the SR18. Now, in order for the SR18 pads to trigger the sounds within the FA-06, you have to match the notes and the channel. That is all that is required. Notes and channel. So the channel is channel 10 by default in the FA-06 channel. All that's required is to press System Setup, change the MIDI channel to 10, press the page, come down here, drum out, turn drum out on instead of off, and it's perfectly easy to change the key mapping for the various sounds on any particular kit. You just go and find the particular drums. There we go, power session. Suppose you wanted to edit the power session, you would just press enter. Then you would go shift tone edit, and now you see the studio kick is assigned to key 36, which is C2. So basically you can change the studio click to a different key. That selects the key number, and this, notice that we have Studio Kick 2 assigned to 35B1. So if we wanted to say have Studio Kick 1, we would leave it at B1, and we would come over here and we would just go Studio Kick or whatever we want. Apparently there's just Studio Kick and Studio Kick 2. Okay, so basically go over here in your drum kit. It runs through all the various keys. E3 right away down. Actually, let's see how high it probably goes to the top. Key 88 is 88 keys. Back away down to 27. That seems to be the range here. 27 to 88, EB1, E flat 1, basically E flat 1, all the way up to E6. So you just select the key you want to map and then you go over and you select what you want to map it to. You can map it to triangles, shakers, a go-go. The whole lot of them are here. Starting with that, studio kick 2, blah blah blah, rim shot, rock tom. And when you're done, you press exit and you've remapped the keys to the sounds. Now of course you're going to have to save that power session. Notice it has a tick there to mean you altered it. You're going to have to save that in one of the user memories. To save that, you would just press right, and you would come down here and you would save tone, and you would go select. And of course it's now you would have to call it, you would have to basically find a look, init kit. Right, init kit means that's an unused one. Steven's kit is one that I've saved already. So you find an unused thing, you go rename, you rename it, write and save it just like how you save any other tone on the keyboard, and you would have saved your drum kit. You simply match the key numbers of the pad, or note numbers of the pad, to the note numbers of the sounds in the FA-06. What you're looking at there is the drum assignment list for power session. That comes from the sound list document that's available on the FA-06 site. Finally, just so that you see you can do it with a keyboard controller as well, we have just programmed these 8 buttons on our A800 Pro Roland MIDI controller, and we programmed them with the same note numbers and on the same channel 10. And here we go, toms, crash cymbal, kick drum, snare, close hi-hat, open hi-hat. See how easy it is, and it doesn't affect the keyboard down below at all. We can play quite normally. If we have many hands, I don't know how many hands you have, you can play on your keyboard and you can beat your drums by using the pads on your external MIDI keyboard. See how easy it is? Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.